Congratulations! USFL 2022 MVP KaVontae Turpin is voted to the NFC Pro Bowl. Mike Mitchell breaks his crazy journey to the NFL. USFL MVP wide receiver kick returner KaVontae Turpin, why didn't he play at wide receiver? It's beyond me. Is headed to the NFC Pro Bowl as the number one vote getter returner on special teams. Turpin has had an amazing 2022, taking the USFL by storm when the New Jersey Generals, then becoming a star for the Dallas Cowboys. With the boys, Turpin had 713 all-purpose yards on the season, had an outside chance of surpassing a 1,000-yard threshold. Hasn't scored a touchdown yet during the regular season. He did score 2 return touchdowns in the preseason. However, through 14 games, Turpin has averaged 23.7 yards on 18 kick returns with a long of 63 yards and 11.9 yards on 22 punt returns. Turpin has had 2 returns for over 40 yards and 14 over 20. As the season progressed, several opposing teams have kicked the ball away from KaVontae out of fear of him breaking the big one. Perhaps that's why Turpin is the leading vote getter in the NFC from not only fans and fellow players, but coaches as well. KaVontae Turpin's redemption ride from the USFL to the NFL. So Turpin, a 25-year-old product from TCU, was a force both at receiver and kick returner for the New Jersey Generals. He was a threat to score every time he touched the ball. The versatile Turpin was an explosive playmaker who helped the Generals become the league's top-rated offense on their way to a 9-1 regular season. KaVontae led the league in receiving yards, 540, and yards after catch, 316. He accomplished this despite being targeted only 53 times, well behind league leader Lance Lenoir of Michigan at 88 targets, who coincidentally has signed on with the Cowboys' rival Philadelphia Eagles this summer. Turpin appeared in 10 games with the Generals, registering 44 receptions for 540 yards, led the league, 4 receiving touchdowns, second in the league, 23 carries for 129 yards and 1 rushing touchdown. He accumulated 921 all-purpose yards, 12 punt returns for 184 yards and 1 touchdown, was named the league MVP of the inaugural USFL season. Turpin is one of nearly 60 USFL players who signed NFL contracts in 2022. 21 of those players currently reside on NFL rosters as the league pushes towards Week 16, or now we're in the playoffs. But there was never any doubt for the moment the USFL season ended that KaVontae Turpin was headed towards stardom in the NFL. Fitting enough, the USFL's biggest star in 2022 ended up in the Lone Star State with the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas, remember, you got Daryl Moose Johnson as part of the USFL, so I'm sure that helped a little bit. Dallas signed Turpin to an unprecedented 3-year contract, a testament to their belief in the player who was fighting for his professional life only a few short years ago. KaVontae Turpin was a dynamic and record-second playmaker in college at TCU, but off-the-field issues, where he was arrested twice and pled guilty to domestic violence charges, ended up with him being kicked out of school. Undrafted and unsigned out of college by NFL teams in 2019, with red flags attached to him due to his off-the-field troubles, Turpin was left with nowhere to play for nearly 2 years. In 2021, he ended up playing and starring for half a season in the European League of Football with the Sea Lions in the Spring League, a precursor to the USFL in 2022. Alternative pro leagues like the USFL afforded players the opportunity to begin or continue their pro careers. The USFL gave KaVontae Turpin a second chance, and it's led to his first chance in the NFL. He had said this back in July: "Thank you, USFL, for giving me this opportunity to play the game I love. I went through hell just to get here, but I'm thankful for the USFL Generals on taking a chance on me, and it ended up being the best experience of my life. Once again, thank you." And that was nice of him. So KaVontae Turpin, congratulations, the biggest star to come out of the USFL so far. And I'm sure we could have more in the future.